Hi friends, my name is Achyut and I'm from Isaac. So today in this class we'll discuss how to use FlatList in React Native, right? So in the previous class we had discussed about the scroll view component, right? So in this class we'll discuss FlatList component, right? So let's not waste the time. Let's get into the class. So in the previous class we had implemented the scroll view, right? For example, if I add Achyut here, right? So and click on add goal, right? So we can add like this, right? So I will add the list of goals until the height is completed, right? I hope the height is completed, right? So one more I will add, right? So we can scroll it down, right? We can scroll it down. So what is flat list? What is flat list? So flat list also same as the scroll view. So what are the operations which we can do with scroll view? The same thing we can do with flat list, right? So what is the difference between scroll view and the flat list, right? The scroll view is used to display the list of items in a limited manner, right? For example, consider an article, right? Consider an article. So the article will be having at least 4 to 5 pages, right? There is a limited. There is a limited. For example, you're having the list of goals, which is 10,000, 1 lakh, something like this, big data, right? So in that case, you have to use flat list. In that case, you have to use flat list. So in the scroll view, we are having the option called always bounce vertical. And if we write false here, if we write false here, the bounce option will be opt. See, so I'll just refresh the project, right? The project is refreshed. For example, if I add, just I will remove this thing. I will remove this thing. And if I add something, and you can see, right? There will be bouncing option. There will be bouncing whenever, for example, if I add always bounce vertical, right? If I add always bounce vertical, then the bounce vertical will be oft. Bounce vertical will be oft, right? For example, if I add another thing, right? So there will be a bouncing effect. There will be a bouncing effect, and if you want to remove that, then there will be a prop called always bounce vertical. So when you write it, the bounce option will be oft, right? I hope you understand why we have to use always bounce vertical, right? So now it's not working here. But if you try in your systems or in your phone, when you bounce like this, like if you don't add this prop, it will bounce, right? It will bounce. And if you add this prop and if you put false here, then the bouncing effect will be off, right? I hope you understand. So now we have to use the flat list, right? I hope you understand what is the key difference between scroll view and the flat list. Scroll view will be used for displaying the data, right? Which is having the limited data. And flat list is used for the dynamic data, right? Flat list will be used for the dynamic data, which has lot of data, right? To display the lot of data, we will use flat list. And for the limited data, we will use scroll view, right? So for that, you have to just remove flat list, remove scroll view and add flat list here, right, from the React Native. Right, so we have added the flat list, right? So we are having this prop, right, for the scroll view always bounce vertical, right? So whatever the props which are used for scroll view, those props can be used for flat list also, right? Those props can used to the flat list also, right? Whatever the props which are using for the scroll view, the same props we can use it for flat list, right? So for the flat list, we are having some props, right? So we have to we have to include those props in the flat list, right? For example, we are having data prop, right? So here you have to include the data. You have to include the data. So what data? So we are having the score schools, right? Right? This data we have to add in this, right? This data we have to add, right? So we had added the data, right? And we are having the rendered item. We are having the rendered item, right? So we have manually done the rendering, right, by using this map function. So we'll just remove this thing. We'll just remove this thing, right? I'll just remove the view also. Right? I hope you understand, right? So, and previously we have rendered the items by using map functions, right? We have iterated on the list of data, right? On the course goals, we have iterated and we have displayed, right? But flat list should be rendered by using this prop called rendered item. So you have to display the list of items by using this prop rendered item, right? I hope you understand, right? So this render item is a prop which accepts the function value, right? Which accepts the function value. So here the parameter is item, right? For example, so whenever you scroll down the list of items, right? Whenever you scroll down the list of items in the course goals array, right? So whenever you scroll down, each item will be passed by the flat list to this item, right? So whenever user scrolls the list of goals, then this flat list will pass the item to this function. So whenever user scrolls, this render item will be called, right? This random item will be called. I hope you understand, right? So here, so I'll just cut this thing. Right? And the flat list also, you have to use it like a self-closing component. Use it like a self-closing component, right? So you have to remove the end tag, right? So opening tag and the closing tag, right? So we have to write the flat list component by like a self-closing tag, right? So for the first prop is data and the second one is render item, right? We are having the render item. So whatever the data, the flat list which is passing to this rendering item, so this item will be in the form of object, right? So this item is in the form of object, right? So in the object, not only the list of goals, but also some metadata will be included, some metadata will be included, right? I hope you understand. So what we have done, so we have removed the scroll view, right? So after that we have written the data. So this is the prop, so where our course goals will be stored, right? In this course goals array, our list of goals is added, right? So we have to render the each goal, right? For that we have another prop called render item, right? And this it will take the function value, right? This it will take the function value which is passed by the FlatList automatically, right? So here you have to return the JSX code, right? So this is the JSX code, right? So as I told you, so this item is an object, right? This item is an object which is in the form of object. Sorry, so item is an object, right? So it will be having not only the list of goals but also a metadata, right? So that's why I will take item data, right? So this item data is also having two props, right? For example, we're having item data dot index, right? We are having item data index and item data dot item, right? So if you if you want to access the item one course goals, then you have to write item data dot item, right? So index means for example the list of goals will be there, right? So in the 0th index there will be one goal, and the 1th index there will be another goal, right? So in the index format also we can access it, right? In the index format also we can access it, right? I hope you understand, right? So this item data is an object. It is an object which is included the list of goals and some metadata, right? Some metadata. So how can you access it? Just you have to write here item data dot item, right? So in this way we can access it, right? And I will just remove this key also, right? I'll just remove this key, right? I hope you understand till now, right? We are having the flat list, right? So it is a self-closing tag, right? So this is a self-closing component, right? Self-closing component. I hope you understand. So first of all, we have created the flat list and we have written the data prop and we are having rendering item, right? So with the use of rendering item, we can display the list of goals on the screen, right? And we are having this prop called always bounce vertical, which off the bouncing option in the phone, right? I hope you understand. So now I'll just refresh it. And I will add the goals. For example, if I add A here and I will have it AS, right? D, F, right? So for example, if I add another thing, right? See, same thing you can do it by using flat list, right? I hope you understand, right? But we are not getting the warning, right? See, for example, if I add same thing again and again, right? If I add same thing again and again, we are not getting the warning, right? But some cases you will get warning. So in that case, you have to add the key, you have to add the key. So where you have to add it? So here you have to add it. So you'll like in the add gold handler, we are adding the entered gold text, right, in the string format, right? So here I will use the object, right, object, and I will give text as the entered text, and I will take another ID, or I can take key here, right? So I will take a random number which is math dot random dot to string, right? So what I'm doing, like I have written text and I have written entered bold text, right? Right? And we are like I have included another key which is math dot random dot to string, right? The first one is text and second one is key, right? So in this object we are having two types of data, which is text and the key, right? This is an object. This is an object. So in this way we can give the key to the flat list, right? So this this flat list will automatically look for key, right? The specialty of the flat list is it will automatically look for key, right? So now it will look for key, right? So we are having each time we are having object, so in that we are having text and the key, right? So how can we add it? How can we use it? By using item data dot item text, right? See, so it is an object, right? It is an item, and in that item we'll having two kinds of data, right? One is text and the key. So how can we access the object? By using dot, right? Item data dot item. So this is the whole item, and in that we want text, right? Dot text. So I have written item data dot item dot text, right? I hope you understand. So in this way also we can include the key here. Right? For example, if you are getting data from the API, so sometimes you will get here key as ID. So how can you use it in the flat list? Flat list will look for the key, right? Flat list will look for key, but we are having ID, right? So for that we are having another prop called key extractor. We're having key extractor. So it is a accept the function, right? It will accept the function, and flat list is providing two props. Two parameters, which is item and the index, right? Item and the index. So here you have to return item dot id, right? So this item, so this is the overall item, right? This is the overall item, right? So in this I will take id, item dot id, right? Item dot id will get this, I will get this id, right? When you return item dot id, then you will get this id, like math dot random dot to string, right? I hope you understand, right? So in this way also we can get the ID, right? For example, if I refresh it again, and if I add something, right? So we can add it, the same things, right? We can add the same things and we can scroll it down, right? I hope you understand, right? So we can add key like this also, right? I hope you understand. So we are having, like we have discussed, FlatList, and in that we are having some props. So data prop will take whole data, the course goals array, right? To render the each goal, we are using this render item prop, right? So this render item will take an object, right? The list of goals, it will take as an object, right? So each object we can access it by using item data dot item dot text. Why? Because we are having this object. That's why I'm writing item data dot item dot text, right? I hope you understand. So after that we are having this key extractor. Why? Because if we get data from API, which is dynamic data, right? So in that case, if you want to access the ID, then we have to use this key extractor, right? So this is all about FlatList, right? I hope you understand. So if you have any doubts in this class, just please comment in the chat. I will definitely help you out. And if you think this video is helpful for you, then please like the video and please share this video to your friends and family members so that they can be benefited from this video. And please do subscribe to my channel and please ring the bell icon. Then only get the notification whenever I upload videos in the YouTube, or otherwise you will not get the notification. Thank you friends. Jai Hind.